Okay, welcome to the March meeting of IPMS London. March is always a funny month because coming, if you get a nice day or two, like tonight, the St. Patrick tomorrow, sometimes it gets busy. So any of you planning to go out to be careful. I think if you're like most of us, we'll just sit at home and drink our beer, not green. Please. Alrighty. So the normal stuff. Let me find my point here. Zoom etiquette. Yep. Carrie, anything US Canada?
Not at this time.
All right. So we're going to go right to the tables. And you're going to be on deck first because everyone else is going to have to screen because they weren't as courteous and nice as you were. I'm just saying.
At the last minute.
That's all right. Hang on. I got the wrong screen here. So the slideshow. Well, they're excellent pictures, well worth the effort. So, all right.
Thank you.
Screen one. Go share. Okay, you guys should all be seeing that now.
Yep. See the. Yep.
All right. So
the main slide.
Yep. We'll talk about HairCon in a minute. All right, Carrie. Go ahead, sir.
First one is the palette cleanser after I finish my Phantom, which I think is the next series of slides. This is the Dragon/DML Scale Tiger 1 late production with Zimmerit. So the Zimmerit is a kit. For anybody who's interested in ones, this is probably one of the better ones. RFM makes a pretty good one too, but you have to apply the Zimmerit if you want to do a late one. Anyway, so this is pretty well out of the box for the tracks. Those are metal tracks. There's a called Sector 35 that assembles what I think are through metal metal tracks. I like them because I really like putting these. The fit, there was no issues with them, and it just gives you that appearance of a air tank with it draping over the top, the runner, driving gear, and then just sitting on top of the remaining running wheels. So that's the only aftermarket on it, and it's done in what is called the ambush scheme.
What's your technique for painting or finishing the tracks? Sorry.
Well, the first step, because they're metal, is you have to etch them. So there's various products out there that does is the etching really just takes off any kind of oils or grease or whatever that has been from the production. And then once that's done, it actually leaves with a nice, almost rusty looking patina. You could technically leave them that way, but not many tracks that were on tanks that were in use saw rust that see their treads. And then I just use a various AK products. There's mud ones, there's dirt and grime. There's some light red tints that I just applied in layers. So the whole process of doing my treads like 3 days. No, not 3 days, not 3 days all day. It allowed for them to dry, and then once I was happy with the look, I just took a sanding stick and I just sanded over the parts of the tread that would actually come into contact with paving stones or whatever. So nice. It was pretty. Yeah, I was pretty happy with the result.
It looks great.
Just an FYI, I was at the Game Chamber on the weekend, and they have a lot of the AK the AK weathering products. Like they have full racks of them, so they're a very good spot if you want to check some of those out. All right, shall I move on?
Sure.
This one I like. This one came out.
Ooh, wings.
Yeah, so this
wings.
Is, yeah. So this was my 1 year build for 2021, which I missed the deadline by a couple of weeks, but I didn't want to rush it. I got sidetracked with another project of some kind. I can't remember exactly what got me sidetracked, but
nobody wants to be Russian these days. Just saying.
Yeah, just saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bada boom.
Bada boom. All day to use that one.
You have missed your calling, my friend.
Thank God for the world, eh?
So this is the Hasegawa 148 Phantom FG1. It came in a boxing called Royal Navy, so all the markings are there. Although I used Model Alliance decals, and a combination of actually the Hasegawa decals and the Model Alliance decals. The Model Alliance decals, even though they're aged, they're like 10 years old, they went on quite nicely. They're nice and thin, so you can put them on and lose the carrier sheet. I think this is Squadron 762. It was on the, I can't remember which carrier it was on, for 1976. The only aftermarket I used was the res kit afterburner cans and an unknown company resin Mark 7 injection seats. Some of the markings along the spine of the aircraft, I painted those. I masked them and painted them. Same with some of the things around the vertical tail. Yeah. So again, great kit. I think. Pardon me.
How did it go together?
Went very well.
Okay.
And typical I mean, despite the fact that these models are probably 30 years old, at least, it went together really well. Had very few fit problems, and the ones I did have were probably self-induced, being a little fumbly fingers at time. But I just really like this Royal Navy scheme, the gray with the bright red, Omega symbol, and it was a nice kit. I really enjoyed it.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think it was on. I think it was Arc Royal. The squadron was on, if I recall, in the mid-70s.
You know what? I think you're right, Stuart. I think that's exactly the carrier that was on. It was shortly after this, so they started phasing out the Phantom in the late 80s. I think by early 91, they had all been transferred to the Royal Air Force, and the vast majority of them were upgraded to what they call FGR2s.
Right.
They're just, I mean, if you look at them, you have to really look at things like ECM blisters and antennae. That's pretty well the only difference between the two. Same engines, same cockpits.
Yep.
Pretty well it.
Very nice.
Where do you find the time?
Sorry?
Where do you find the time?
I'm retired, man.
I know. Work.
I was just you're probably looking at all the news from Fantra.
Yeah, and when we're in lockdown, like every 4 months, it's pretty easy to spend time down here in the hobby room. So. Did you? Yeah, my former colleagues are probably going to be going on strike.
Yeah, that's going to affect us maybe. I did. Speaking of that, I did talk to Frank. They were looking at. He still hasn't received official word. They were looking at April, but of course now that's all up in the air because as of midnight tomorrow, the staff from the union that will be going on strike because the government thing that does the negotiations for all the college didn't agree to I think they called it mutual arbitration. So
mutual arbitration.
Mutual arbitration, that's what it was. Yeah. And what is it? CIC, there's some government name for it.
It's called CEC.
CEC, thank you, Harry.
Which is a private corporation.
Yeah.
There's nothing,
Yeah, which, just to me doesn't make sense, but there you go. So yeah. So your former brother and sisters are from the union are going to be out on the line probably. So, more power to
them. Well, there's only a couple scenarios where they may not be on strike, but it would involve Mr. Ford and him actually not wanting to have to deal with it in an election.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. One never knows, right? It's been some weirdness already. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, for the kids and everyone else. So. Because I know, like I said, I know a few folks who have taught there over the years, and you deserve every penny. So, all righty. So so we don't have anything else yet for that. The library is going to be May, June. If anyone else has an idea for a space, the big thing is as follows. We have to be able to accommodate at least 50 people, obviously with some social distancing for now. as well as it ideally has tables and chairs, and has to be accessible, fully accessible, wheelchair, etc. And of course, ideally centrally located would be nice, but we do what we can. So I'm still waiting. Frank's going to let me know if he hears any more. And as soon as we know, we will let you guys know. So yeah, I wish I could have better news for that, but like I said, there you go. So all right, so Heritage Con, 2 weeks away. It's getting exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing so many people there. Don't forget, they will be looking for judges. The club's always been good. IPMS Hamilton has always come down and supported us, and vice versa. So if any of you are interested in being a judge that day, let them know when you get down there. They will be calling for you'll hear PA announcements and stuff like that. So that'll be good. So no, it'll be good times. Myself and Jeff will be there as well on the podcast. Hey Jeff, I ordered fancy shirts for us.
Fancy shirts? I mean, I got my IPMS London one. I even watched it.
I know you're gonna have to like change it on the
fly. Thank God.
I know.
Yeah, it was stinking pretty bad, but
Yeah. So, sure, it's going to be a good time. We're going to be in the radio room above. I think it's above the restaurant or in that area there. So drop by and see us, or we'll be on the floor. Hopefully, you've all got your models in because the deadline is passed. For admissions, I have to write back Ian around and find out what the final number were, if they're going to allow some extra kits. I know Dave wanted to get a few more in.
I was on the Peel Scale Modeling meeting last night.
Oh, yeah.
I was on there for a bit, and he said they have 500 people, and they figure there's 600 kits registered.
Wow. So
that's going to be an impressive turnout. But they got room for, he said, 820 or 880 kits on the table. They figure they have room for. So I mean, I'm eagerly watching the IPMS Hamilton Facebook page.
So they might open it up again for a little bit.
Yeah. I'd love to get my ground plan into the.
Well, I've also heard we're going to have some people coming up from the U.S. Gary Measley, who's our other co-host. He's coming up.
Yep.
And a few other people from the States. So that's going to be fun as well. So it'll be a really, really good time. Okay.
And Terry's bringing up a monster thing from the past that sounds pretty exciting too.
Oh yeah, he's bringing up the Jeffrey Station that they built back in 2005, I think it was.
4 or 5, something like that.
Yeah, I've got some pictures of it being worked. I have pictures of Joe Suddy and Neil Prentice and one other guy working on the top of this thing because they were trying to get it running the night before, having some trouble with the wiring. And then I heard a loud popping sound, and the smoke that makes all the electronics work had been released from it. So it wasn't working anymore. So they managed to get it working again, though, but it was and it was a little bit wobbly too. I think they were having trouble with the drive system and that. So, anyways, I'm hoping to get, if he brings it up, I'm gonna take it into work and get a bit of advice, and I'll go in on weekends and try and get it fully functional and ready to go, and I'll drag it around a few shows and here in Southern Ontario, I think, and maybe back down to Wonderfest too, to let it.
And for those who don't know, the Jeffries Station is a massive Star Trek. Yeah, see if you got a picture of it, because it's really kind of awesome.
There you go.
I might have a picture. There's a shot of it there. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are all enterprises in docking bays all around it at the bottom.
Yeah. So there's like multiple classes of starship all docked in those lit docking bays. There's even Millennium Falcon that was built out of Enterprise pieces from the original series that Tony Augustin himself built, and it's really cool. So, and then there's a big over to the right, you can't see in this picture, and it's got a little shuttle bay at the bottom, and there's a little shuttle in there and stuff, and it's made from a C-57D, and what else was involved in this? Oh, C-57D, and the Area S4 UFO. That's what the top saucer section is. It's those things brought together. This is the night before they were trying to get all the docking bases assembled with the ships in them. So that's Tony Augustin there, my friend Edson as well, and his wife Becky behind him.
And if we have the links on the latest podcast, and if you go here, you can find a picture of Dave like when he looked very young.
Yeah.
This is a young me.
Let me see.
That's-
There you go.
Oh my God, there's the grin.
That's one of the first Starship Modeler group photos early on.
2004. So
Yeah, 3 or 4 of those guys are no longer with us. It's crazy.
yeah, I know.
And there's
Yeah.
Terry Measley on the far left, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Neil
right
down
there.
there on the far left.
Yep,
There's
far left
Terry.
front row.
Yeah.
Yep, and
Yeah.
we recognize this grin.
So the guy next to me with the tie-dyed shirt, he's the one that spins off and he gets me my tie-dyed shirts. So it's a tradition every year at Wonderfest on the Sunday, we both wear our tie-dyed shirts.
So you
We're
basically
like twinsies.
you
It's
basically
hilarious.
can't lose each other.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's gonna be a good time. So yeah, we appreciate Terry doing that. Okay. So it's time for another bit of show and tell. I was mentioning before we started recording, I was complimenting Mike on his. He's been working on his Coast Guard Whirlybird, and he got thanks. Was that Glenn over in IPMS Ireland, Mike? You're muted again, buddy. Sorry.
Mike is in California.
Oh, okay. So let me share my screen because this is really good. So basically, it's using Pledge with a wee bit of food coloring brushed
Yeah.
on.
That's a great trick. I'm gonna have to try that because I want to do a similar thing on the front screen of the Phantom, but it can't be too
That's a
colorful.
good way to start. That's obviously the just bare canopy where I started the masking. And there you can see with a wee bit of Pledge and obviously being food coloring, just kept that in a wee bit like a hue that I liked and brushed it on.
Looks good.
Wow.
Looks
And
really good.
Even went back to the one that I obviously completed
Yeah.
and put it on there, and I do like that effect.
Yeah,
It looks good.
looks really good. Great tip. Like I said, I love watching you work your way through some of these. It's always something new to learn.
Keeps me out of trouble.
Well, someone's got to keep you out of trouble. And I see your dad's doing well on
Yes.
on the greenhouse.
Yeah.
So yep, Mike's dad, our honorary lifetime member, he's still doing awesome. Let me find one here. You had one with him. Here we go. Progress report. Latest progress, one piece is missing, a yellow stool making 20 subsystems. I'm now starting page 6, flowers, containers, and tools. Next about 40. These are my wife has one of these, and they're like full multimedia. They're very complex.
Yeah.
You see, you get all that stuff.
Yeah, they sell these in Hobby and Toy.
Yep. Oh, Mike's okay. So he just has the 2, but yeah, he's working away. So he's still going strong. He'll outlive us all. You know that.
And Bill from Bill's Hobby Center has helped out again, dropping off some of that test canopy glue for him.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Parts.
Bill's a great guy. Like, this is what it's all about. So
I like how my profile picture and Jeff's profile picture are like twinsies.
Where's yours? Oh yeah, just exactly the same.
yeah.
Exactly the same face. Look at that.
A mole rat hat. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So who else has stuff to share? I saw some kits fly up in my monitor earlier. Anyone else want to share?
I can do a quick one.
All right, hang on. Let me spotlight you here, Kevin.
Okay.
Okay, you're good to go, sir.
Okay. It's only one shot. It's a work in progress. It's a Bishop, which is a self-propelled gun from World War II based on a Valentine chassis. And I just have the transmission tunnel completed there, painted and aged or weathered. They don't give you an engine, but they give you a transmission tunnel. So that, and the 2 radiators are in silver sitting on top, and they fold down top of that. And that's it. That's as far as I've gotten on that. It's I think I'm on step 13 of 52.
Very
and
cool.
it's 800 parts, so I'm going to work my way through it very gradually.
All righty.
Okay, let me stop sharing then. Where am I?
There you are. Nope, you're still sharing. Now we're
Yeah.
seeing the
Oh, there we
board.
go.
Wait a
I had
minute.
to find that little red button.
There you go. There you go. And I'll unspotlight you.
Excellent.
All right. Who else is next? Anyone else feel like telling us what they've been working on?
Well, I just have this one.
Oh yeah,
This,
hang on a sec. This is
Well, Lysander.
Yeah. Yeah, let me see if I can get this. It's the Revell 132 Lysander, and it's been a bear, but it's getting there, and it's really simplified. I mean, you can't see it from here, but the panel lines are super deep, and the wheels were very simple, so I had to drill
the
those
old
little
Matchbox
holes.
kit for you.
Yeah. But and I basically did a full interior scratch build, but now you can't see it because I'm painting it.
That's fine.
And we'll get there, slow but sure.
No, that's good. And of course, and of course, you had a new place to dry it, right?
Yes, I did. I have not yet obtained a dehydrator, which I understand is the important tool to have for paint drying. So instead, I just lit a fire in the fireplace and stuck it on the mantle above it and kept it going all night.
And Lynn noticed it right away, of course.
She did. She did not force me to take it down. She was very kind.
Well, that's
kind.
awfully nice of her.
Yeah.
That's
She waited until it melted.
Yeah, that was well. You know, this is the one where I those of you on Facebook would have seen. I tried to do a painted plywood interior floor, and I tried to dry it too quickly using a heat lamp, and it just sort of it didn't go very well. Put it that way.
Happens to the best of us.
Well, it happened to me. I'm not the best of us, that's for sure.
Well, you know.
Anyway, lots of fun.
Good stuff. Mr. Wilson, I thought I saw a car in your profile.
Yeah, I'm not going to share my screen, but it's an old monogram 69 Camaro. I think from the 1970s. And I painted this kit probably 30 years ago. I painted the body probably 30 years ago, and then I stuck it in the box and shoved it away. And it's another one of my shelf queens, or not shelf queens, but shelf of doom. And so I thought I better, and the funny thing is I put most of the bare metal foil on except on one side. So I had to finish off the bare metal foil. And then I'm doing the engine and the bottom of it and the interior. So by the next meeting, it'll be done. I thought it was not a bad paint job for 30 years ago. I think it's Canadian Tire Carrera Red.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
So
awesome.
You'll see it soon.
There you go. All right. Anything, Dave? Do you have anything today?
No, I'm just puttering away on this cat I had going a long time ago, so I'm back at it now. Nothing else really, so I showed off my birthday present from my wife earlier, which was this. I'll show it to whoever wasn't here. This monstrosity.
Hang on, let me get you spotlighted, pal. There you go. And apparently he is not going to do the Ukrainian war diorama.
No, too soon for that. No, yeah. So, but the thing is, I realized 3 versions of this kit. There's this version that has no landing gear and no interior. There's a version with the landing gear and the interior, and it has a blue and yellow swoop down the side that was on it when it got destroyed. And then there is also a version you can get, and it comes with the 3 CP markings from the Soviet Union when it was a shuttle carrier for their Buran shuttle program. So this one has the early 2000s markings in it. So I'm going to see if I can write to Revell and get the other decals for it, because I'd rather do it with the blue and yellow swoop down the side.
Very cool.
I didn't realize when we grabbed it online that it was what the differences were. So
very cool.
Anyways, it's a pretty amazing model. It's gonna 61 centimeter wingspan and it's 58 centimeters long. So
you're gonna have to put a new wing on the house to house it.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, William, I want to see that arrow. I saw that go by your screen there, Bill. There she is.
It's getting better. Just it's never good enough. And so you put a little putty, a little bit of sanding, but it's going to look sweet when it's done.
Right.
If I can improve my skill sets a little bit more.
Very nice.
I went over to the church tonight. There was no meeting, and so here I am. I got a chance to come into work early and play here.
There you go. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. Okay, Johnny. I want to. We've all been reading about the tragedy, that poor Johnny's been having to do.
And it goes on. I'm almost mental breakdown today.
It'll be worth it.
Is it the top here? I sanded those areas, right? And I repainted them and they look as good as they were. But then I saw, like I peel off the mask tape for those area I didn't sand. And maybe because I was in a hurry and I put this in a dehydrator with a masking tape, I think it leaves a little bit of stuff on the paint, which I think a bit of sanding with, or like polishing with 2000 grit and 4000 grit will remove them without having the necessary to paint those areas. And I want to wet sand, and I already did wet sanding today a few times with, and I put everything in those like squeeze dropper bottle, right? Like all my paint, including my water. And I have a drawing bottle full of water. I used that bottle for 5 or 6 times before. And then for the last time I need to use it to remove those residue from the masking tape, I didn't check the label. I checked every time except this one. And I put the Mr. Leveling Center. So I had to remove all these areas.
Oh no!
Maybe, like it's really hard to mask the rest area, and also because there's no panel lines here, I may need to send this as well, and then maybe I just need to send this again.
It'll be worth it when it's done because it's the color I love. But yeah, we've all been there.
This morning I woke up like I have these two for headlights, right? For some reason I can only find this morning. The other one I cannot find it anywhere. I spent like 2 hours to find it, and then I found it exactly here. I don't know why it was missing. And then in the afternoon, I have another part on my desk that when I cannot find anywhere, and it just appears again. So this thing was like weird to me.
That means it's time to take a break, work on something else.
I need to finish this before next Saturday, right? So at least I got these parts. All the rest, exterior parts, like painted the flat varnish. Don't as good as the gloss finish, in my opinion, but not too bad as well. It just loses the color saturation. I don't know how can I avoid that, but I guess that cannot be avoided.
Well, it happens to the best of us.
Well, that's the nature of flat finish, right? It's going to reflect more light and it'll lighten it up.
Oh dear. All right. Well, there you go.
I will not use the dehydrator.
I must say, Johnny, I mean, your work has been impeccable, and so it's kind of nice to see that you're human.
And you have a good sense of humor. So that's the important thing. Yeah. Don't let it stress you out, man. I know the feeling. So, all right. All righty. Anyone else?
I got a call from Roughdale today. I've got my new Mustang 3.
Yes, they posted that it was in.
So I hope to. I don't know when I'm going to be able to go get it because working midnights. by the time I get up. But I'll get it soon.
Yeah, good. I was going to point out that Brofdale's Richard posted tonight. Let me go back to it here.
Whose ship is that? That was quite the
Russ,
hideout.
yeah, I'm gonna show that in a sec. So he posted today that they've got the Stug 3 DAS work in 1/16th and the Arma expert set for the P51 B and C. And then yeah, he had Russ Allen apparently 196 scale. So some gorgeous pictures of this thing. And like, look at this is on his back counter. So
A lot of work.
Look how big that is.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's scratch built.
That's got it. Yeah. That's
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. Like, look at, yeah. Just gorgeous. Yeah.
That's the one ship I would like to build is to hide it.
Yeah. Like the rivets there for the gun. Yeah. So
a lot of work.
I don't know if it's still in the store or not, but he had it there on Tuesday. And then he's also got a easy line in other filament.
Oh, good, because I need that.
There you go. And of course, I think I mentioned at the build night, but he's doing a tongue-in-cheek model contest. Only incomplete examples were qualified. He used tissue paper. Judged by the president of the Ukraine. So there you go. All right, I'll stop the share. I'm trying to think what else. There's some, there's a lot of model companies. We talked about it a bit in the podcast, but there's a lot of model companies both in the Ukraine and in Russia. You're not going to be seeing stuff coming out for a while. Several groups are doing fundraising. All that good stuff. Just make sure you just watch you're not getting scammed or anything.
Has anybody seen that book that I can't remember who was?
Let me bring it up.
Yeah, that looked interesting.
Yeah, good point. Thank you, Jeff. Let me just find it here. Here we go. Chris Eddings.
Yeah.
So he and a bunch of other people. Let me share the screen again, including a few usual suspects. There we go. Have done a book literally in weeks, and it's going to be. Let me find it here. Yeah, they basically got models for Heroes Ukraine, and it's a 96-page book with a bunch of familiar builders, and all the money's going back. So
did you guys hear that the artist who did tons of box art for Rodan?
Yeah, he was killed.
Apparently killed in some kind of an airstrike or something.
Yeah, he was killed as well. So yeah, that book's 96 pages. Yeah, here we go. Here's the one I wanted to. It'll give you a better idea of some of the pictures. So a lot of them are from Ukrainian kits, obviously. There's a lot of manufacturers. People don't realize how many are there in the Ukraine, like Wing Z and. Yep. Mini art, of course.
And I think it was on for like 20 pounds or something.
Yeah, it's a good price. It's very reasonable.
Oh yeah.
I love these armored cars. These mini art armored cars.
Where do we find this for purchase?
If you go back to my thing, I think it's on his website.
That email that he sent had a number of links.
Yeah. Just do a search on the book and you'll be able to find it.
And if you just Googled models for Ukraine, you might find it.
Oh, here we go. InsideTheArmor.com. And from Guideline. Here, what I'll do is I'll send the link out as a chat in the chat.
Sure.
And we'll do it that way. What is me chat? There's me chat. Oh, that's the wrong chat. Hang on. Sorry, guys. There it is. There we go. And yeah, we the artist, yeah, we were going to mention that too, which is back here. I posted that earlier. Yeah, here we go. So the modeling news, he produced quite a few. So some very beautiful box art.
Yeah.
Again, reminiscence of some of the Roy stuff from Airfix, the old Matchbox, some of the Matchbox kit stuff, and just yeah, amazing work. So truly sad. It's going to be a loss to the community.
Oh.
That's sort of whimsical, a lot of this stuff, eh?
Yeah, like I love this
Great.
one.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Whoa,
the
that's
Empire
cool.
State Building, yeah. Or you have this one. It's like, I think this one's, I'm off.
That was the Chrysler Building, not the Empire State
Oh,
Building.
sorry. You're absolutely right. My apologies. I also like that one with the Mohawk.
I was going to correct him, but I didn't want to look like a shit. You know, I just didn't think that was right.
Well, and you wouldn't have identified it correctly anyway, so.
There we go.
That's the Twin Towers. It's obviously the Twin Towers.
Exactly.
Yeah, that must be it.
Is that the Rupert Building?
Or it's the Greyhound bus. This is another good one I love.
Oh,
I
I
got
love
that one. That's a
Yeah.
nice one.
He did some amazing work. Yeah, a true loss to the community. So yeah. But yeah,
All not good.
all not good. All right. So does anyone else? So does anyone else have any other hobby news or stuff from out in the field or anything else to talk about for the formal part? No. Okay. I'm going to stop the recording.